My name is Gic0e. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. I've been making music for 4 years. I started in 2021 when I was in college at UNC Charlotte. Honestly, what had gotten me into it is I heard an artist say, like, in order to really enjoy music, you have to make music that you yourself would want to hear. So that really made me want to dive into it and see what I could make and what could possibly bring other people some sort of joy or allow them to see themselves in my artistry. What is my favorite way to decompress? So I'm a combat athlete, so I train jujitsu and I box. I train jujitsu about 3 to 4 times a week. That's my favorite way to decompress because it always allows me to be challenged by different people and it keeps me thinking and it keeps my body moving and active in my kinesphere. So that's my favorite way of just relaxing and letting off steam throughout the week. Who inspires me in music, past or present? Present would be Brent Faiyaz. He was part of the reason why I even started making music, especially when I heard Sonder and just how he layered all of his vocals and really just how he built his career as a creative within understanding your data and understanding your analytics, because that definitely played a part in me wanting to know like how I could further reach my audience and my fan base, and that successfully allowed me to amass the listener base that I have now. I would say past, definitely Michael Jackson. I was a huge Michael Jackson fan as a kid, but I was a huge fan of Motown as well. I was always listening to Blue Magic. Blue Magic was one of my favorite groups from Motown because of the storytelling that they were able to like encapsulate through their music, but also just the vocals and the passion, and really evoking that emotion from their listeners, which is why I feel like I pour so much like genuine emotion and transparency into my artistry so that people can experience that exact same thing. Outside of music, I dance. I've been dancing longer than I've been making music. I've been blessed to perform and work with some really dope people. I was able to work with Rhapsody back in 2024 for her Back in My Bag video as a dancer. And it's honestly just something that I really hold near and dear to myself. I've also been able to represent North Carolina on a national level for Red Bull Dancer Style. That was back in 2024. I was able to compete alongside some really dope dancers. Shout out to the homie Luffy and Leo Rosso. But yeah, dance is something else that I really love to do outside of making music. What I love about making music is the process. I'm very, very finicky when it comes to my sound because I know that it'll be received by a lot of people. Um, but honestly, I think it's the process. It's the collaborative process between me and my engineers and my producers and making something beautiful at the end of the day. Because I think the best product is a finished product, and I love like just giving it to my audience, which is why I'm so particular about what I put out, because I know it could be somebody's first time coming across my music. So I would want to give them the best experience the first time, as opposed to having them like go through my discography to find something they like. To do it sooner. Um, I've definitely been blessed with what I've been able to accomplish within my artistry within only 4 years, from performing at music festivals to being able to travel and ultimately make a living off of making music. But I would encourage him to continuously be like genuine, because when you show up genuinely in your artistry, it translates across in everything you do. So I would encourage him to continuously do that for sure. My dream opportunity would be to collaborate on a tour with Brent Faiyaz as his opener, because him and I are both under the same distro, which is United Masters. I feel like sonically we do align, and I feel like we do pull from some of the same audiences. So I think it would be a testament to owning your music and being independent and showing you how far you can get and achieve. Because being a partnered artist with United Masters and seeing when Brent Faiyaz signed with United Masters about a year and a half ago, it motivated me only to continue being independent, but also to really just further drive in my own lane. So I think that would be the dopest opportunity to come to fruition, would be me opening for Brent Faiyaz on tour. My favorite place I visited would honestly be Panama, because I'm Panamanian. My mother and my older sister are from Panama, and my mom has always instilled that value in the culture and the pride of being Panamanian to me. So when I've gone, I've always loved it there, because that's where my mom grew up at. That's where part of my home is. So I love Panama. It's always going to be a special place in my heart for sure. What's my favorite song? I would say my favorite song is probably Santeria. I remember I released that in February of this year, and I think it was really just pivotal because I think it really encapsulated that dark R&B sound that I've been working towards. My engineer, he's from Russia, and when he sent me that beat, I was like, this is one that I need. And Santeria did 100K in a month. So that's my favorite song. Again, also because of how slow it is, how soulful it is, and the storytelling behind it too. I think it's a really good one for sure. It's honestly my aunt. So my aunt, my great aunt Sarah, she's 92 years old. She's still here. And something that she's always encouraged me to do is to always be as, she's always told me to show up like as purely as I can. And I feel like the way in which I show up in my artistry is that purest extent of myself. I think it's the most honest and the most genuine version of myself, because like I'm telling like my real life experiences and stories to people, and it's being received. So what keeps me going is honestly my aunt. With her being 92 years old, it means a lot more to hear the things that she has to say to me, because I know there's gonna be one day where she's not gonna be there anymore. So my goal is to always have her live on in my music. Like I've had her voice like play in the background of like some of my songs as a way of like kind of having like a time capsule and understanding and knowing that time that I spent with her when she told me those things. So the ultimate thing that keeps me going is my aunt, because I know she would want me to experience the best parts of life. And I have to continuously do that regardless of how difficult things can be at times. My favorite song right now would definitely be Touch Myself by K1. I think the production value behind all of her music is insane, and she's been on an insane run this year. And I think she's really bringing out like that yearning R&B feel that's honestly been missing. So Touch Myself by K1 is my favorite song right now. My favorite song to perform is definitely Safe Space. When I had my first sold out show in Atlanta last year, that was the song that I was most excited to perform, because Safe Space was a really pivotal song for me, because it definitely allowed me to reach a really large percentage of my audience. Because when Safe Space had originally dropped, we did about, I think it was about 100K in a month, and then we got to like 500,000 in about 3 months. So Safe Space was one of those songs where I was really just pouring out everything from the love that I experienced to the loss I had experienced to the aspects of healing and understanding myself. And I had just poured that into that song. So for it to be received in the way in which it did, it let me know that it's okay to show up genuinely. You know what I'm saying? Like to not have like this super like hyper masculinity, you know what I'm saying, like performative essence, especially like as a black male artist. That's what let me know like it's okay to like hurt and still put something beautiful out into the world. So that's why that's my favorite song to perform. If I could do anything differently when it came to starting my music career, I would honestly wouldn't change anything, because everything has been a learning process. Because I've learned that it's not just about music, it's about how you market it. That's the primary thing. I think a lot of people get caught up on, oh, well, I have dope music and dope music is gonna be heard. But I'm like, your marketing and how you push it to your audience and how well you understand your information is key to if it's gonna reach the people you want it to reach. So I wouldn't change anything, because a lot of the frustration that I experienced was necessary, because it allowed me to find new, intuitive and ingenuitive ways of pushing my music, and ultimately reaching people. So I really wouldn't change anything about it. If anything, I would just ramp up the consistency more, because I am definitely the results of taking like 1,000 shots and then just one of those shots really changed my life. Because I remember when I had 100 monthly listeners when I started in 2021, and I'm well over 60,000 monthly listeners on Spotify alone. So it's definitely one of those things where it's just a game of consistency. Like how many shots are you gonna put up today? Because one of those shots is eventually gonna change you, and like it's gonna set you up in the long run. So I wouldn't change anything. My dream collab is honestly Kehlani. I would love to either write for her or lay some background vocals or feature for her, or for them. I think they're an amazing artist, and I was there when they were on the Blue Water tour, and that honestly is what made me fall in love with music even more in the creation of it, because I knew that I could get to that place, you know what I'm saying, of performance and honestly just having a lot of people be in community. around my music, because when I went to their show, it was beautiful. You could tell everyone was just having a great time and everyone was in genuine community. So at the end of the day, like that's what I really want to have around my music, is community that's not purely or solely beneficial for myself, but for everyone around it who partakes in it. So Gic0e is an acronym. It stands for Gifted in the Creation of Excellence. A lot of people have always wondered why there's a zero in my name. Zero is infinite, but it also means there's nothing that I can't do or accomplish. Especially being that I come from a city where a lot of people, it's very difficult to get out of Durham, North Carolina. So I feel like for me to have gotten out of Durham, North Carolina, and I'm still embarking on my artistry and being successful at it, not carrying it as something that's like a hobby, it's a testament to how great I'm gonna continue to be. So yeah, that's where my name comes from. It's Gic0e, because there's literally nothing I can't do, and everything I've created has been excellent thus far, and it's only gonna continue to get better, for real, for real. You can find me on all platforms, all music platforms, under Gic0e, so Gic0e. You can find me on Instagram at Gic0e, Gic0e _ on TikTok at not Gic0e, so not Gic0e, Gic0e. And as far as things that we got coming up in the future, we have either an EP or an album in the works. I'm honestly deciding which one I want to do so far. But yeah, we got some new stuff on the horizons because people been beating up my inbox asking for new music. So we got some stuff for the summertime coming out. I just need people to be patient as we work through this process. But yeah, we got new music on the way for sure.
My name is Gic0e, and you are watching Disney Channel.
Dun, dun, dun.